I feel like I've been hit by a truck. That's what it feels like. Everything hurts. I think in part it was, I don't know, whatever I started with, and then the other part was the chairs at the acting school. I don't know why. Like, everything hurts. That's what it feels like. Like, everything hurts. I stayed up until 3 last night because I finished the movie at like 12:30. I was like, oh, great, not too late, not too bad. But then I felt like talking about it for another hour. And then I was like, I need to like palate cleanse. I didn't even watch anything. I was just like, I can't just like go to sleep. So I just like sat and reflected some more on it, I guess, by myself. And so that's not helping. And this situation with my stomach is terrible. I hope I have Gaviscon somewhere because I just need to find it. And it's stomach. Like, Nexium is not helping. Claritin is not helping. I'm in so much pain. Like, all my muscles, all my joints, everything. I have a timer that I didn't change, which, I think it's okay. But yeah, I have a timer from back in the day. I lived with Aro by ourselves in an apartment. It was nice. I will talk to you later. The more I move, the more better I feel. So just wanted to share that. Oh my gosh, I need to catch up on vlogs. Oh my gosh, so much to do. So much to do. Alright. I'll talk to you later. Quante storie qui, storie, camero, yeah, I was listening to that song because I was listening to this dance playlist supposedly that I put together, that when things sound like they should go together and then you listen back like, okay, yeah, I'm ready for this playlist, and it's like, why did I put these songs together? That's that playlist. 2 things. 1, premiering my movie review, which I thought I was so loud. I thought I was speaking so loudly last night, and you can barely hear me. So yeah, and then it's bad lighting and it's all bad, whatever. But I have thoughts, so I'll do like a proper review. Now I'm kind of upset that I used my like pretty thumbnail for that. Anyways, I'm going to Wendy's. The other stuff is they elected an American Pope, and literally the first thoughts were, what was the first thought? First thought was like, oh crap, that's not good. Nothing American sounds good right now. And then B, like, everything American sounds like forced. You're not choosing American because it's good quality and because you should choose it, but you're choosing American because anyways. And then second thought, will he undo everything that the previous Pope did? Will he undo it? Because that's what the American way seems to be. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Wendy's time. Alright, day 2 of Wendy's. I don't understand why they take so long to say anything. I don't know. But I decided to record as first thoughts. Because yesterday's first thoughts was like, oh, okay, this looks okay. This looks decent. This looks nice. So, yeah, it didn't taste good, but, that's a whole other thing. Why do you need food to taste good? Like tomatoes. No tomatoes taste anything like a tomato besides these, like, Roma tomatoes from Costco that are non-organic, but they actually taste like tomatoes. I don't know. Thank you. That is way too much caramel. That's a lot of caramel. That is a lot of caramel. That is too much caramel. Whenever I repeat things, it means that I'm just in shock, and I don't know what else to say besides what I just said, but I feel like it needs emphasis because it is that shocking, that odd of a choice. I don't know. That was definitely unexpected. It's a lot of caramel. I got a small just because, yeah, I don't think it's going to be good. So I just wanted to try. Definitely a cold day. Cold day, but it's going up. Thank you. Have a great day. I'm going to go because I want to do this thing. Yeah, cool. Talk to you later.
To him because he wanted his nephew to heal from seeing that horrific sight of him laying there. Thanks for watching Floss and Talk again, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Floss and Talk, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Per essere missionari.
Just popped onto Instagram and watched Miles. Gosh, I don't remember his last name, but he's from Made in Chelsea. And I like watching his content. Sometimes it provides me a little bit of like, it's okay, Arina. It's okay, kind of sentiment. Anyways, but this latest one he posted, I don't know, that, it's ironic / sarcasm or for real, but he posted something that made me think, which was working hard so my future wifey can run a pop-up or a flower truck or something like that loses $30,000 a month. And it made me question so many things popped into my head, so many questions about how I view life, how I view myself, my worth, how other people view myself and my worth popped up. And I will say that even though I tried so hard to be enough for someone, for people in general, for a relationship, for my ex, don't ask for too much money, too much time, too much space, too much effort. Things like this, I assume, especially now, I guess, but well, no, even before. Now I can see that and actually question, like, oh, is it sarcasm or is it like for real? Before, I think I would assume it was sarcasm. I would assume that, well, that's not fair, or that's just, he deserves better than that, and then someone who would like take his money like that, not take it, but live off of his money without contributing. And I guess I realized that contributing to a relationship, to a partnership, is not just bringing in money. It's not whether or not you're a housewife, whether or not you have a job, or a houseman, whether or not you have a job, whether or not you earn more or less than your partner. It's kind of irrelevant. It's the balance, it's the love, it's the respect, it's the care, it's wanting to make the other person happy and safe and healthy and good and take care of them, and having that be reciprocal. That's what you really ultimately bring to a relationship. It's so, yeah. Whereas before I would assume, and I think my ex, would chat with his boys or whatever, not that he has boys, but his brothers or whatever, that like, oh yeah, like, I actually, like, I know that my ex he doesn't have, at least as far as I know, but I feel pretty confident about this. He's not had that kind of mentality, but to, like, if he's talking to other guys, he probably will say, like, yeah, she, like, don't do that. That's like, you know, mooching off of someone. I don't even know, whatever. But I've spoken with him so much about so many philosophical things. I think part of him feels that way, but I think part of him would agree that, like, he probably, I can see him, like, in the future, you know, taking care, if it needs to happen, taking care of the person that he loves. So again, like, I don't know. I think that kind of helped me, you know, when you know someone for like 7 years, however long we've known each other, you see so much, you go through so much learning about the other person, and behind the curtain of what beliefs they present to the world, you, through so many different instances, you hear the beliefs behind that curtain as well, and you get to understand that people have, sometimes at least, they have kind of complex beliefs. It's not just like binary. And in that, and at least for me in my situation, I think part of the reason that I feel like I am working to get more comfortable with not having to be perfect, like perfectly fit and earning a lot of money and perfectly smart and all this stuff, is because of having had this relationship that was imperfect and all the stuff that it was and it wasn't. But again, I think ultimately he was like a human being, and vulnerable enough where he let me in enough to understand other people better and to understand guys better, because the only way that I knew about guys was TV. You know, like the men in my life, my grandfather, my father, my stepfather, like they didn't really let me in on how they were thinking. My stepfather, yeah, he's pretty open with his thoughts, but it was mostly about like, you know, what he learned about science or whatever. So, and you still learn through that a lot, but you know, it's different. And so I definitely kind of had the mindset and mentality that like I can't slack off, you know, I can't just be a burden. I can't just be something that takes money, because I would hear how in society people would talk about that, like how wives or girlfriends are just, you know, money spenders. Like you earn money so they can spend it, and all the jokes, and those affect people and young people and kids a lot. Depending on which side they're on, they can develop on both sides resentments that they don't need to develop, because ultimately all of that doesn't really matter. And I think wise people don't joke jokes like that because they don't even think of it that way. They know that what matters is that respect between two people and the care and just holding to that love that you have for one another and nurturing that and planting that garden that yields and gives back to the relationship through what you give to the relationship and to one another. And yeah, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I see this guy a lot on my feed because, well, I don't know. I see a lot of like political stuff and then just a couple of people outside of that, and he's one. I think because I follow his one group, which I'm so sad that I'm not in London and able to participate in his group, And I kind of am thinking of trying to make my own group here, but I'm like, I'm not a celebrity, so who's going to come, work out with me? And also, I'm not great at being that consistent. Like, yeah, but I see what he did for himself and for the people around that participate that were in the same spot of just being lonely, really. And being very honest about that and vulnerable about that. And as a result, finding all of the people that are involved, finding other people. It's not just like him, it's like the community they have and with each other. And yeah, so I follow that, and I think that's why he pops up a lot more than other people. But I remember I saw him, like, I think he looked on the show, he looked like young. Just not serious. I was honestly just very confused about him because he seemed like a good guy, but then also not a good guy. Like, he would have some questionable things in relationships or with people, with women, with girls. So I was always confused. I'm still so confused about him. But I also realize, there's so much editing. There's so much, even though it's unscripted, there's still so much that can be shaped from unscripted. And I mean, let's be honest, just in your personal life, when you know someone, unless, like I said, with my ex, like, I know him so well through these years because I had so many years and I've seen like a bit of everything. Probably, I don't know if I've not seen something in him throughout the years because it's been so much. And so you have a very different understanding of people than watching them on TV. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie that, like, I've definitely thought, like, oh my gosh, this is such, like, I love what he says. I love how he views life. Like, darn it, I'll never get to even meet him and just, like, even have him in my inner circle as a friend, much less, like, date him. And I don't know that I would date him. Again, like, I feel like he seems still quite young, and I don't see that we would go together per se. But he's like amazingly good looking, especially now that he's kind of not as bulky as he got at one point. I know, sorry, no offense. Which is so actually such a bad thing to say because he struggled with that and he spoke about that it's a like body dysmorphia for men and how that is not often talked about. And but that's the thing, like, I love men who are real, who are overcoming societal oppression of their emotions, of their vulnerability, of their humanness, and they're actively doing so, and they're becoming just beautiful human beings and such like strong leaders and strong people that any gender looks up to. And yeah, so I don't know, again, yeah, I don't have a crush on him. I don't see him quite like that, but like when I guess like I have a crush on some idea of like I would love a man like that. I would love a man that speaks the way that he speaks in his posts, that is open to share his struggles just every day. Like, I don't know. I feel that connection in that sense, on that level with him. So I do think sometimes, like, and also looks wise. I mean, he's really good looking. And I'm not referring to his body. I'm referring to his face. When I say that, I think of like people's faces. He is a gorgeous human being. He's a gorgeous man. But yeah, and I think him saying this again, I'm like, oh, maybe he like was saying this in joke or like sarcasm. I hope not, because I guess like I'm someone who's like very ambitious and You know, sometimes I wonder, am I ambitious because I am ambitious or because I have to? Because I have to prove. And this, I mean, this goes to so many people. Because I have to prove that I'm not a burden. Being a burden, if you know me, my ex is listening, if you're listening, like, you know, this is such a theme for me, but like being a burden is like such a big issue with me, like a big fear or just trigger or whatever. And so unlearning that, because I see, you know, women and men, you know, like I would not judge anyone for staying at home and working on themselves or working on a passion project. And I am developing more appreciation for people who love people that much, whether they're family or friends or breaking news, friends can do this too. Friends can support each other. I don't know that, but you know, I know that. Or partners, romantic partners, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, husband, wife, whatever it is. And gosh, I have an eyelash situation now. And they can support you because they love you and they believe in you, even if it takes a long time. You know, I love that. And I was always like, with my ex, like if he wanted, you know, I think, whatever, if he wanted to aspire to something and he was like, yeah, and we would like live together, which we didn't, but like if we would live together, I would be like, cool, like do that, go for it. And I would not mind, and I would not feel like it was a sacrifice to support him financially and to be the sole provider while he goes and achieves that. And you know, so I think like, why couldn't I find someone like that for me? Like, you know, but I always feel like don't be a burden. So whether or not Miles, I think Jazair, whether or not he meant that sarcastically, it still prompted some interesting reflection on my end that, you know, is more work towards me becoming worthy and feeling like I'm worthy, because I feel like if I actually sit and think about it, genuinely, I feel completely worthless to everyone in every way. Like on YouTube, I don't provide much worth in my any relationship that I have in my life. You know, I feel like the ending of my relationship, that was like, you know, it's like this combination of like, well, I put like everything and more into it, and I got left with nothing and less than nothing because I put more than everything. And so it's not like starting over from like where I left off. It's like starting over from like minus. And you know, so I have that like, well, I did everything that I knew to be right. I sacrificed, which at the time I didn't think it was a sacrifice because I thought he would do the same. I thought we were like, you know, both on the same page as far as reciprocity and understanding what it takes to be in a relationship. And at one point it clicked that it wasn't going to go that way, and that I was just putting in more and more and more, and It sadly was just a few months ago, probably, or I don't know. No, it was actually a year ago. And yeah, so that kind of changed things. But yeah, on one side, I think, well, even if I was perfect, so to speak, like even if I wasn't a burden, I still got left. I still was not wanted. Like you can't, like you can't make yourself worthy of love, you know, like love isn't by worth in a way. And then on the other hand, I think, no, maybe I just wasn't worthy enough. Like maybe, yeah, like I didn't try hard enough. I wasn't enough. And I express this for sure, not like, oh, poor Rita, poor me, whatever. You don't know me from Adam, as people say, or from Eve in my case. But I know that people think about this and feel like this a lot. So I'm with you. Yeah. So yeah. I was listening to a song. I was watching the Masked Singer, and I was listening to a song that was again like so nice and romantic, like for like this kind of time period, you know. This guy, I think it was the monster, the silly, I forget the green and blue or purple one, like the third one to go. No, the fourth one to be unmasked out of the 4 finalists. The first one to be unmasked, so the fourth runner-up or whatever. And it was saying something about something, but basically the thing that, you know, I think of in this moment is a song that talks about like, I'll take away your pain. You know, there's songs out there that are sung mostly for men, that are sung to women. There's Kelsey Ballerina had a song that's like, thanks to the man after, I don't know, after the relationship. Like when you're broken from the previous one, thanks to the men that come after that and fix and mend and help with things that they didn't break and things like that. I think about how like must be nice, but I feel like I still feel like there's something wrong with me and that I'm not going to find that works for other people but not me. That my whole life I've observed that people help everyone else but me. Gato that. You know, like, yeah, whether I speak up or whether I don't speak up, whether I'm humble or bold, doesn't matter. Which leads me to just not speaking up anymore, I guess. But expressing, you know, I don't ask for anything, but I'm not even expressing. I don't even express it. Just like I'm very shut down. And I think people look at me even worse now that I'm shut down. They look at me, and I am much more selfish because I shut down, and I am definitely in a state of like, well, no one's there for me. So, and I am like genuinely like empty. I have nothing I can give to people right now. And I hate it because that means I'm not gonna be able to be like a good friend. I'm not gonna be able to make new friends. I'm not going to be able to, find like a partner or be a good partner or anything because I'm so empty. And the thing with that is like it's not getting much better. Like it's not getting better at all. And then at my age, like, it would be one thing if I would have had kids already or whatever. Like, it would be a bit different. But yeah, because like a career you can like do, in your older age, but kids, like, biologically, no, unless you don't want to give birth. And for me, like, I can't even like save my eggs because I can't even work. Like, anyways, so it'd be nice if there's a guy out there for me who will see me as worth that. What Miles posted would be nice. I don't anticipate I just see this life flying by so fast, and how I'm not going to be able to break free of my family's patterns and actually just end up worse. And my siblings, it's like my parents get a second chance at having like better kids than me. And I had such like high hopes and high dreams, and I would say such a good heart, and wanted really nice things for people and things that people won't even know. Like, however many times I think of my grandfather, he has no idea, no one has any idea, because I literally this week I have thought so many times to at least send him like this one text message, and I just somehow don't. Like, I literally, my ADHD or whatever, I just, the thought flies as fast as it came into my mind, and I'm so exhausted, and I haven't done anything. Like, I don't even know what this week was. Like, I just feel like I was in a hurricane or something. I don't even know what happened. Yeah. Anyways, I did not expect that. I didn't think that I had much to say, but that's how it happens sometimes. It, like, one little thing prompts a spiral, but like, I would say it's a good spiral, because the more stuff like this comes out, maybe it means that I'm processing, and some of it will be processed and it'll get better. And I don't know. I just feel like my life is really over. Like, nothing, like, it'll just be downhill from here. Like, I genuinely feel that way, and I know people will, or if they would hear this, would be nice to say like, oh no, like, you're still young, or no, don't give up, or whatever. But I genuinely, like, honestly, I don't think it'll be better. I don't think. because I'm with me every day, and I know how much I'm struggling to just stay as afloat as I am, and I'm not even like, I'm barely breaking the surface of the water, and it's not enough for anyone or anything to be, you know, where I am. I'm not doing enough. And for the first time in my adult life, I don't even have a therapist. Like, I have this one therapist, but she doesn't do a pay scale, so I can't really go see her, and because I don't have insurance, and like, I have just like financial aid from whatever, details don't matter, but nothing applies to her. And I don't think my previous therapist, I don't know that he would like still do sessions, because he retired from everything, I think, a while ago. I don't know. A and B, I don't know that he would even help, except to have someone to like talk through things. And just like this, like, sometimes it does help to just talk it out, say it out loud. And sometimes they have, you know, feedback, sometimes they don't, but you hearing yourself can be feedback enough sometimes. I don't know, sometimes just to have that outlet. Yeah, I want to be like me so badly, but I can't. Like, when I think about this like whole selfishness thing, like, I genuinely don't think people understand just how like empty I am, and how like when I give the little that I give, how like a lot that is. And like, my neighbors, oh my gosh, I keep meaning to like reply to my neighbor, but like, it's seriously like, it just keeps slipping by or away or whatever. And I like today, today, it was like a few times that I thought about it, and I just constantly think like, I'm not worth their time, anyone's time or attention or help or anything. It comes from having people in my life that their idea of support is that, I guess, because I guess maybe they're like dealing with too much, and I don't know, but yeah, that's like been my lesson, is that don't be a burden, and you're a burden to your family, to your friends, to everyone. And somehow, like, how I am or would be there for people if they would let me in, not to expect from others. And now I'm just, I can't, I don't know, whatever, I'm going in circles. Cool. Anyways, whatever. I'm not even going to like justify or excuse this vlog or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. because that's the thing, like I was like, no, in the past few years I kept trying this thing on of like, oh, but I mean it was like for a long time, but especially these years it was amped up, it was amplified. Like, don't post things like this or whatever, don't say anything, don't post political views, don't do this, don't do that, because you will be unemployable, no one will want to employ you, no one would want to be your friend or to be, to date you or be around you and all this stuff, or you're going to like basically just be neutral all the time about everything, and don't show much of yourself, and you don't matter. Just annihilate yourself because you don't matter. Just be there for everyone else. Don't be there for yourself. That's the only thing that I've gotten as feedback, as like lessons from my ex. He didn't. It's funny because if I would have said that, I don't know that I ever like echoed that back to him, but if he would hear that, like he would be like, that's not what I mean, because he would also because I remember him being so shocked that I thought like self-care is selfish. That's a summary, but the way that I phrased it, like it wasn't quite like that, but that was the summary, but because of how I was looking at it, I didn't hear it that way. So yeah. But at the same time, like he doesn't realize how the actions and his subconscious, what that was relaying outward into the world, was the opposite of that. And yeah, just he's just one example, not everyone, because it was before him too. Like I said, I think with him it just kind of amplified a bit more, just how he goes on about life. Like he's not very open and transparent, and I was like super open and transparent, and instead of rubbing off on him, he rubbed off on me. And that's kind of how life is happening all around the world now too. It's like we're all going backwards instead of forwards, but whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna apologize or fear that this will make me unemployable, or it'll make me, like, if I want to do auditions, I want to be an actress, or I want to make movies. Oh no, I'm talking about Blake and Ryan and this and that. If I want to be a coach, or maybe in the future a therapist even, like, oh no, this will like make me unwanted by clients or whatever, because look at me, how broken I am, and how like, why would you want, why would you believe? Because oftentimes you think, well, I want to learn from the people that did it and they're in a better place, right? So yeah, I'm not going to think about any of that, because it might not matter in a very big way. Like the world might come to an end before any of that, or it just might not ever like happen anyways. Like it's not like I'm getting employed, better without this. Like for the past few years, I've tried to be model citizen, not like fashion model, like perfect, girl, whatever. And I'm not like this, like neutral, just like sweet talker, sweeten your ego type person. It didn't work one way or another. It didn't work for me because it felt like I was just suffocating, and it didn't work for others. Yeah, I'm not like abrasive either. There's like a funny side to me, and a gentle side to me, and a sweet side to me. as well. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If no one, gets anything from this, they don't get anything from this. If no one watches this, no one watches this. If bad people watch this, because that's my other fear, bad people watch this and whatever. Like, I feel like, I feel pretty like I have a good head on my shoulder, but whether I post or not, if bad people want to get you, they get you. They see you somewhere or whatever. And to live in that fear is also just kind of sounding less and less smart. To just live in the fear, like, what if the wrong people, see your stuff, whether it's like political messaging or whether it's like personal messaging or whatever, and they want to harm you. Like, I hope that doesn't happen. I don't feel like I'm saying anything that's like bad or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, there's some really nasty things out there that happen. So I don't know, but like, I'm like a Britney Spears song, somewhere in between like Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman and Overprotected. Those two songs, I think, or maybe even other songs, but yeah, I think Overprotected says, how do I know what's right? And then the echo is, you just got to do it your way. Because, yeah, there is no right or wrong. People are not public and they get messed up by bad people. People are public and they get loved by other people and never messed up by other people. Like, you never know. And I've tried so hard to, like, again, do the perfect thing to guarantee safety, to not lose the relationship. I mean, from the get-go, like, just do the right things to create safety, to not lose the relationship, to not put the relationship at risk, etc., etc. The same thing with jobs all the time. And if I would lose a job, even if it was completely zero my fault, I would still be the one that was blamed by my family. Like, it's all that stuff. It's like, so why try to be perfect? It's not that I've tried very well to be perfect, but I tried my best to be perfect and it didn't work out. And life is kind of over. And what was that worth? Nothing. Anyways, all right. Well, time to wind down. 10 o'clock. Okay, good. I'm gonna try to do a Zumba tomorrow, but my stomach is like really bad, so we'll see. And yeah, I plan on getting sushi, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully that'll help my stomach a lot. I need to stretch, but I haven't been able to because of my stomach, so I'm gonna go take Claritin. I don't know if that helps. Also saw you can't really take 2 a day because you can have a seizure, so darn it. But I have this nasal spray. I'm pretty sure this is mine and not my parakeets because I don't want to share, even though it kind of enters the nose, so I got her own nasal spray. This was per my vet's instructions, so I do not advocate this for your bird or animal. You need to consult your own vet. So I got her a new one, and this is mine. And I'm gonna try that, especially after crying, and Claritin. And I guess it kind of expired last month, but I think it's still okay. Just maybe not effective, and maybe that's what's happening. Because it's only like a month ago. So yeah, I'm gonna do that and just try to relax. Yeah, I don't even have a crush right now. Like I have a crush on Luke Kirby, but like a different crush than like unusual crush. So I don't know. I will talk to you or whatever. I guess I'll talk to you later is my thing to say. But yeah, peace, love, and compassion, and whatever. And back in 2017, I had this phrase, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, that no. Talk about allergies. She is also allergic to I don't know what. But she's starting to like just like gnaw at her one paw. I don't know. It was a dark sounding phrase, kind of like nothing matters kind of thing. So I feel like I'm in that kind of era again, minus the like skill and ability in acting class. But you know, it might also be just freaking part of like how they only have one class a week now, and then charging the same amount as when there were classes almost every day. And then I get this lecture like, oh, you can't transfer your tuition to the next month. Oh, like they made an exception, but like it's an exception, so I know. Because like I was saying the instructor is having shoulder surgery, and I get that's like necessary. And I get that going to, you know, on spring break with her daughter was also necessary because she's a little daughter, not like high school daughter. And so I get that. I don't hold that against her. But don't penalize us, you know, like especially now, like she's making so much money where I am making, and she also has a husband and he's pretty well off, at least he was back in the day, because he does tech and stuff. So don't lecture me who doesn't even have a job, doesn't even get interviews, doesn't even get anything. Don't lecture me about, you know, responsibility. And that's like this thing that like frustrates. She didn't. But that's the thing that gets me. It was like the office person. And that's the thing that gets me about like people who lose touch with empathy for different people. It's like the society that we have is like there's zero help for others unless we like them, you know, because the owner has like a favorite, and I don't understand. I don't know if it's like their family somehow, or I don't know the relation with that, but like he can do no wrong and he can do whatever, and he probably takes classes for free or whatever. And or at least that's how he presents it. And I'm like, that's not fair, because do you know how much I'm struggling? And I feel like people don't. But if I say something, then people like say that I'm like